From the Oklahoman newsroom, this is an OSU update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with Kyle Fredrickson. Kyle, as spring football rolls along in Stillwater, some guys that we sort of might remember in the back of our head somewhere, but have been in the redshirt mothballs this year are coming out. OSU had a chance to put a lot of guys into redshirt this last year, and that doesn't always happen.
Yeah, I mean, just think about 2014 when OSU played 20-some true freshmen and redshirt freshmen combined. Last year, in that big 2015 class, only a few guys got playing time. Jalen McCleskey, Kenneth Magruder just being two of the guys who were able to make a little bit of an impact, along with Jeff Carr as well. So there's a big group from 2015 that comes in, which is good for the Cowboys. I think this is the situation Mike Gundy would like to be in, where he gets these young guys in the program, gets them through a year with Coach Glass, puts on some weight, and there are a few guys within that group who might be able to make an impact this year.
Let's talk about those guys. Who are some names, again, that maybe in the back of our head somewhere,
Right.
but now might become sort of front of the head names as the spring goes on?
Well, John Kolar is the number one guy. He's a quarterback. We're always going to have this conversation.
Yeah.
This is always going to be a talking point. Gundy was asked once again in the spring, does he have the potential to maybe be a J.W. Walsh type of player, a running quarterback who can come in situationally? Because Gundy said that's kind of Kolar's playing style. He's a little bit lengthier and taller than J.W. was, but he had that ground game in Norman. It's something the Cowboys really liked to have last year with a struggling run game. If worse comes to worse, it's another option for them to mask some of those issues if they continue this year. But I know that the coaching staff and teammates, they're pretty optimistic this offensive line is going to be improved from a year ago. All the starters return. Like I said, another year in the weight room. But it should be another option should the Cowboys want to use it, given that Kolar has that red shirt under his belt.
Is there any non-quarterback that we should keep an eye on coming out of red shirt?
A guy who's really interesting, I think, is Kevin Henry. Okay. He came out of Louisiana, that pipeline that OSU's established over the past few years. He came in as a safety, but he's listed on the depth chart as a linebacker this year. And in talking with Chad Whitener just a couple weeks ago, he was one guy that he mentioned specifically he was excited about seeing, being that he has, Henry has that safety background. He could come in and maybe compete for that star linebacker position, being that Seth Jacobs, and Ryan Simmons are gone. Obviously they have Jordan Burton in there as well, but they could shuffle some players that they needed to fit needs. And Henry is a guy who's put on a lot of weight in the offseason and could be one of those newcomers that we see in the fall.
All right, thanks, Kyle. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.